Uh, yeah, so like at the time, it was, do you consider yourself exclusively with either Japanese or American? And how did that affect how you perceive the experience?
Well, we came out having to be super American. So until I was even beyond high school, I would feel pride in not knowing the language and not being able to read or write. People would show me Chinese characters and I couldn't read them. But I went to Japan for a while and said, I understand. I understand things in me that I didn't before. That whole roots thing. I said, oh, that makes sense. And over there they would say, so when did you come back? I said, I've never been here. And then after I was there for 4 years, after a while, I thought, was it coming back? Coming home. It's marvelous.
I've never been. Didn't go.
Oh yeah.
What was like your strongest memory of the camp?
Very, very cold winter. Icicles that went from the roof to the ground, and having to wear scarves over our faces because it was so cold, and the men going out at night throwing buckets of water on this cleared space, and in the morning was an ice rink. And I had these hand-me-down ice skates. Skating. And then I remember I was very early disabused of the Santa thing because my mom made the costume for Santa. And he was this scrawny Japanese guy.
Not fake.
This isn't for real.
Did you notice, like, as you grew up, your parents having any difficulties, like, because of that experience?
In San Francisco, there were difficulties. Just, we couldn't buy in certain areas. We couldn't buy a home. We wouldn't be waited upon when we went to the store.
But I mean, like personally, not like interacting with.
They're not going to tell me about those things.
Oh, really?
No, they wouldn't. That's the other thing, is that generation was very mum about things. So we had to just kind of read through the lines.
Did they ever, like, explain what happened to you later?
Never. We found out from each other and from others. And in the 80s, there was that whole thing. It was the third generation that was enough removed that they could ask questions. And that was when the reparations came about. But mostly, I was, as I say, until high school, I was really, really wanting to be super American. I'd be surprised if I looked in the mirror and saw an Asian. Because I thought white. Yeah. And that's where I was brought up, was in the white community, not the Japanese, which is different. I have friends, and it turns out these three best friends, and we realized that all three of us grew up in white neighborhoods. And that is a little different. Because there were other friends that were brought up in Japantown here in San Francisco. And they had some of Japan in them. They had Japanese words. They mixed into the vocabulary, and they had a different thought process. Socially, it was difficult.